back to the Point, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. And you know the gentleman to my other side here is the wonderful legal analyst for a gigantic network. Been doing it for a long, long time. Amazing defense attorney. Richard Herman is here today. Richard, how are you doing, bud?
Eric, how are you? Everybody's healthy. I hope you and your family are healthy. And president's not healthy, but you're healthy, so that's good.
But we wear a mask, watch our hands, and when we're around people, we keep our masks on. So we're doing more than he is. I mean, I do find it funny that our military, our athletes, everyone else is following the rules except for these herd people who go to these rallies or whatever you want to call them and pass around the coronavirus, or they go to the Rose Garden and pass it around to all of them and then lie that miracle cure. 4 days, President of the United States in his 70s is cured from coronavirus. Cam Newton in his early 30s and a specimen of health who doesn't stagger up the stairs struggles with COVID-19.
Well, the person who's in charge with protecting the citizens of the United States from this pandemic and his cultist vice president, who put on quite a performance last night with The Fly, they have it. Think about that. They got it, and they just got it now. They didn't get it like months ago. They just got it now. Yep. So, but you know, it's just, it's inconceivable what's going on here. But you know, he got mevaced into Walter Reed. They who knows what they gave him? We're never going to know. But whatever they gave him, he feels like he's energized and it's a miracle, and he's immune to this. And you know, Herman Cain didn't feel so hot, and he went to hospital after attending that rally in Oklahoma, and they juiced him up also. And then for about 28 days, Herman Cain felt great, telling everyone, "Oh man, I feel so good." And on the 29th day, he dropped dead. So, look, nobody wants Trump to drop dead. I'm not going to say that. Maybe people do. I'm not going there. But all I'm saying is I want him to see the destruction, the devastation that's going to come November 3rd. But he's delusional, and his handlers are so weak, and nobody can talk to him, and nobody can stand up to him. And he's bastardized not only Walter Reed and his doctor, who looked like a fucking moron out there, but the CDC, the military. He's just, I mean, he has absolutely corrupted just about everything in this country. Got to get rid of him. Yep. Got to get rid of this guy.
Well, we know how to do that. On this show, we constantly remind people November 3rd, November 3rd, November 3rd. If you don't know how to vote, to vote, go call us. We'll show you. We'll help you. I could point you in the direction of many, many people who will gladly make sure that you get to do your right to vote, because we definitely need it. And you brought up the debates. Let's unpack this before we got some time here. So first we'll start. Imagine a week, almost 10 days ago, this started with a really bad presidential debate that I felt was an embarrassment to our country. As a leader of folks that have won wars, our grandparents, the greatest generation ever, all of us lost that day when we watched a grown adult have a temper tantrum and berate a man who has willfully been elected, not once but twice, as Vice President of the United States of America, and God willing will be elected on November 3rd to our president. I've never seen anything like that. And then you go down and follow the bouncing ball. Suddenly he has COVID-19. I mean, that kind of, and the timeline's fuzzy. He's now at Walter Reed, and within 24 hours, 48 hours, he's taking joyrides around Walter Reed. You know, he's meeting warriors, COVID-19, risking the lives of Secret Service agents. And it's funny, and Richard, let me ask you this. Now, you've defended people in life or death cases. If you are a Secret Service agent, yes, your job is to protect the President of the United States, and you're to die for that job. But there's got to be like a soft line, like, seriously, you need to drive around and have your ego stroked so I could catch COVID? Because we know these masks, they're okay, but we all have our viewpoint on them. But to be in direct contact with somebody who technically should be in the hospital with it, to me, it's funny how the right was like, hey, those guys are supposed to do that for the president. You heard it. You heard it all day Sunday.
He's shedding virus. The guy he's toxic right now. He's shedding virus. And he puts these people at risk around him. And when he walked up the flight of stairs to the White House the other day, I mean, he looked like a fish out of water there. He couldn't breathe. The guy was in really bad shape, and he pulls the mask off because he had to politicize masks. Who does that? It's science. It's science. Whether you like science and science, you don't politicize this. He did. And, you know, it was interesting when he was in Walter Reed and he made his first calls when he wasn't feeling well. I see he didn't reach out to Dr. Atlas. Dr. Atlas is the clown from Fox News, who he liked what he was saying. So he made him the head of his pandemic force and threw out Dr. Fauci and put this guy Atlas, who's a radiologist, by the way, has nothing to do with infectious disease ever in his life. He takes this guy, makes him the head. I mean, if this is the most incompetent corruption you have ever seen, and look, Kamala Harris, she said it right last night. I mean, this is the absolute worst administration in the history of the United States, and it's true. And there's nothing they can do. And the man's in a complete free-for-all panic right now. He's ranting and raving today. Oh, if they're going to turn my mic off, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do these. You know what? Joe Biden doesn't need these debates. You do, Trump. You're getting blown out. You need these debates. You need the exposure. And you're not going to get it. No. So if I'm Biden, I say, number one, I need to see a clean corona test, number one. And number two, I need to see your tax returns, you piece of shit. Because if you don't give me your tax returns, you're not giving me full disclosure. I have all my tax returns in. Everybody who ever ran for president disclosed their tax returns. You owe $421,000 to who? Who do you owe that to? Could it be Putin? Oh, my God, what a leap that would be. So, listen, Biden doesn't need this. He's doing great. He's doing just great, Joe Biden. Don't debate this lunatic, because in the last debate, when that was finished, Trump thought this was the great, and Fox News told him this was the greatest performance in a debate by any president in the history of the United States. So he thinks he did a wonderful job. Forget the rules. He doesn't care about the rules. So that means next time when they say, Mr. Trump, will you let him finish? He's not going to stop. He's going to do the same shit. And these moderators are horrendous. Everyone, Chris Wallace, look, I like Chris Wallace. He was an abomination, Chris Wallace. You know, Mr. President, you're going to like the next question. Fuck you. How's that, Chris Wallace? It's not your job to make them happy, you know? And last night, I mean, she couldn't, and Pence can't. I just can't. I need to go to the hospital because I can't breathe. This is just overwhelming. We got 4 weeks left. Deep breaths, everyone. Everything they say is a lie. Nothing they say makes sense. You know, and how about Kamala when she said, if the doctors recommend a vaccine, I'll be the first one to take it. If Trump says take it, I'm not taking it. Yeah. Damn right. Yeah. I want to see Trump inject the kid he has, the new kid he has, inject him first. Then hit Melania and Ivanka with it. They get it. Then the two moron sons get it. Okay? Then, of course, Trump gets it. Yeah. Then Fauci gets it. Then I wait 6 months to see what happens, and then I'll take it. Yeah. That's it.
I just want
no
them
one
to
trusts them.
Well,
no
we know
one
the Trumps aren't stepping in first in line, Richard. You and I both know that. You know that. He doesn't do anything first. His bone spurs kept him from serving, and then he goes to Walter Reed and needs to go shake hands with the soldiers, which was dumb because we already, and to brag about his health care. Thanks for all the unemployed Americans who don't and can't afford health care, and if they go to the hospital. I know somebody who had a fever 4 weeks ago. They called the doctor and said, hey, I have a fever. And they were like, I don't think, unless you have full-blown COVID, your fever needs to hit like 102 for you to even get a basic doctor appointment, which is crazy. And that's even VA folks are dealing with that. But that's not my question for you. Every time you're on, we talk about this question because it keeps coming up. And again, it happened last night in that debate, and it happened the week before in the presidential debate. The refusal to commit to leave office. My friend, you are the legal guy that our show turns to. You tell me it can't be done, that there's laws. then why? My thing is why isn't media screaming from the mountaintops? He can say this; it means nothing. It's
okay.
I mean,
Listen,
he's rigging I mean, to me, it's
Trump,
just horrible. It's
he needs deflection. Listen, Trump needs deflection from 210,000 deaths. He needs to deflect away from the fact that they're projecting by January 1st 415,000 deaths from this coronavirus. So Trump can't. That's doing him in. He can't go there. So he needs to say asinine, moronic things like, "Oh, I don't know if I can commit to a peaceful exchange." Really? First of all, Biden's going to beat him by 10 million votes. That's first of all. Hillary beat him by 3 million. Biden will beat him by 10 million. And the reason Biden will win is because he's getting a steady lead. Steady. It doesn't fluctuate. Hillary fluctuated, number one. Number two, there is no anti-Hillary vote this time. Last time people were like, "Oh, Hillary, this, that, the Clintons. I don't know if I can go there. I don't know." And then Comey annihilated her. Yeah. So you want to know why she lost? Comey. That's why she lost. So we don't have that this time. We don't have anti Joe Biden. You can't not like Joe Biden, okay? Joe Biden is a likable guy. He's been around a long time. He's dedicated his life to service to this country. And the biggest difference is that 65 and over, that was always Republican. Biden is blowing Trump out in that demographic. Not even close. Yeah. And what's going to really blow is when Biden wins Texas. So at this point, it's slow and steady. Don't rock the boat. Keep breathing. Don't do anything insane. You don't need these debates. If Trump says, "Oh, I'm not going to go," okay, fine. You agreed to go. Now you don't want to do it. That's fine. And schedule something else or move on from it, because Biden doesn't need these debates to sit and get lambasted and all Trump does is lie, and the moderator can't control him, and he interrupts him, makes stupid, moronic comments. We don't need that. No. Biden doesn't need that. He's proved himself. Just sit back, forget these debates. I mean, I know he's going to do the debate, Biden. I know he is, because his people don't have balls. So they want him to do the debate. I don't think he should.
Well, he's not doing the one that was scheduled. The one Trump just came out and said, just so you know, Richard, about 2 hours ago, they came out and said he's doing a town hall now, I believe with CNN, where that debate was supposed to be on the 15th is now Biden's town hall, because Trump will not agree, because he's still in quarantine technically till the 15th, because simple math is 14 to 20 days.
Shedding virus.
Yeah, I mean
he's radioactive. He's shedding virus everywhere he goes.
Did you see him this morning screaming on Fox? He lost his mind on Fox this morning. Yeah.
Trump said put the town hall off a week, and then I'll do the town hall. But he's not going to do the town hall because he can't control the questions during that. And someone's going to be asking him a question. He's going to interrupt them. And these are citizens. These are not moderators. And he's going to get nasty. The last time he did it was a disgrace. He doesn't want to put himself in that position. So I don't think he's going to do this format. But they have to turn his mic off. They have to. And he has to know they're going to turn his mic off. And that in and of itself might persuade him not even to do it. Because, whoever advised him to run roughshod and be a bully, they thought they were good. They thought women liked that. They thought the demographic they need to get back, women, white women, they're going to like that kind of behavior. They don't like that.
No.
And they didn't like Pence last night. He was condescending. He was interrupting her. Women don't like that.
No.
And that demographic is going to go to Biden also. So the person who's in deep trouble right now, who on new voters, is Trump, not Biden. Yep. And Trump can't do it.
Richard, before you know what's funny, Richard, before you go, did you catch it? I don't know how active you are on Twitter during the debates, but I was noticing you're right about women. I have two of them in my home, my beautiful wife and my teenage daughter. And, we watch the debates together. And I was laughing at this one because I was noticing, boy, all the women are very empowered. And there's your typical folk, Tammy Loren, Megyn Kelly, totally agreeing with Pence's behavior and shutting down and being rude to women. And I'm like, Are they all that way? I mean, that entire network. I mean, even today, we've been talking, we'll bash on Fox because I have no problem doing it. Today, the President of the United States shows up on Fox and an all-out tirade going after Barr, Pompeo, everybody and anybody. When is the GOP going to go, good God, the dude's completely off a rocker? Everybody seems that they have to vote the party line, and I'm like, you don't have to. The dude's not qualified for the position he holds. You remove him from office. I don't understand. He's not right in the head right now. I mean, not that he was before, but COVID's made him he's loony. He's out of his rocker. I mean, that's my opinion.
Look, this is not the Republican Party.
Yeah.
This is not the Republican Party. This is Trumpism. It's a different animal. It's not the Republican. People, I grew up my whole life, we all voted Republican. This is not the Republican Party. This is Trumpism. And these senators are so spineless. This entire Congress is so inept. If they don't put term limits in, we are doomed to our end. These dinosaurs have to get out. You cannot allow Mitch McConnell, the wealthiest senator in the country, from the poorest state in the country, control the world. You just can't do it. It's not democracy. We cannot have that. So he has to get beat. Lindsey Graham has to get beat. A whole slew of these animals have to get beat so that the president can do and do things for the country. But it's just it's just TikTok here. I mean, pretty soon it's going to be here. If you can vote, in Nevada they have the polling places that open real soon. You can go. They put trailers in parking lots. I think that's the best. If you can try to get to a place, put the gloves, put on the face mask and go vote. It's not going to be long. The lines won't be long. And even if they are, so what? It's a line. You got Trump or a line. I mean, come on. We really have to get rid of you. If you have children, if you have daughters, I mean, I'll never understand to this day how, I just grabbed a pussy. They like that. And he mocked the disabled journalist. Those two events, I don't understand how the man is still president of the United States. Because if Obama did that, and everyone says if Obama would never do any of these things.
True.
But, if he did, they would execute him on the spot. They would just, boom, there it is. We took him out. I mean, I don't know how Trump survives. I don't know how these people have blind faith and just support him no matter. They know he's wrong. They know he's unhinged. They know he's insane. And yet, they don't have balls. This Marco Rubio, this punk down in Miami, this Matt Gaetz, another piece of shit in Florida. These are just animals. They don't care about this country. It's all about being reelected. They don't care about the country. That's why you got to have term limits. You've got to have term limits. There's great people out there that care about this country. Move them into the process. Get these dinosaurs out. But right now, it has to be laser focus. Joe Biden. That's it. Joe Biden right now.
I think that's a perfect stopping point for us today with you, Richard. So we want to thank you for joining us. We'll have you back next week. You said you'd do it, so we're going to commit you to it now, like returning to answer more questions.
We'll talk about the Supreme Court next week.
That's for sure next, because really maybe they'll be back in.
Right.
No, I want to get your feedback on it. We just ran short on time, but thank you so much, Richard. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you next week, my friend.
You
Thanks,
too.
bud.